Welcome to our training on what is an elevator pitch and why do I need one. To begin, I want everyone to take a minute to grab something to write on, either a piece of paper or open up a blank document on your computer or device. There is also a Google Drive, a resource hub for folks where you will find a worksheet. So take a minute to locate that. If you're unable to do that now, you can check in with that later. So we're going to go over an elevator pitch, what it is, how do I need one? You have likely spent quite a bit of time considering your own story of self and commitment to the child care crisis in Vermont and implementation of Act 76. We want to really streamline your own personal story of self and create an elevator pitch, which you can use anytime talking to folks in any location in a quick, direct way. So our goals for this training will be to first go over the importance of an elevator pitch. Then we will draft our own elevator pitches, and then there will be time for folks to practice at the end. Okay, so first of all, what is an elevator pitch? The elevator pitch is a quick summary of an organization and its goals, or perhaps a specific campaign or effort for an organization. The objective is to clearly and memorably tell your story and your organization's story within the course of an elevator ride or 30 to 60 seconds. Sometimes it's hard to communicate what it is that we're working on in a concise and straightforward way. And when someone asks, what is the Vermont Child Care Campaign or what does Let's Grow Kids do, we get tongue-tied. A good way to avoid this is to create an elevator pitch and practice it often so you can feel confident spreading the word quickly and effectively. So the key components of an elevator pitch are to describe who you are, what is Vermont's child care campaign, why this is important to you or why you joined, and then to make an ask. So first, I'm going to give an example, keeping those 4 items in mind. Just see if you can determine where those fall into this example and whether or not this is a good example or not. So the first example, my name is Jane, and I'm a parent of 3-year-old twins. Because it has been so hard to find affordable childcare near home, I've had to cut back on my own work to stay at home. This has been a significant financial hurdle for our family. When I saw that Let's Grow Kids had been so effective in promoting the Vermont Child Care Campaign last year, I knew it was a step in the right direction and an opportunity for me to help ensure its implementation so that I could re-enter the workforce full-time. Right now, we are focused on keeping up the momentum of implementation. Would you be interested in learning about ways to get involved? So this is an example of all of those key pieces of what crafts an elevator pitch, put together in a neat way. This is obviously referencing a specific point in time, but the overall steps are evergreen. Another example. As the director of an early child care center, I knew I wanted to get involved in helping Let's Grow Kids with implementation of Act 76, the legislation for Vermont's child care campaign. Progress is already happening here on the ground, and Vermonters are seeing child care programs increase staff compensation, improve and expand their facilities, and create new child care slots. I know this is vital to continue, and I'm proud to have found a way to find my own voice in order to be a part of the solution. Would you be interested in getting involved with us to make sure your voice is heard too? Example number 3. As a small business owner here in Vermont, I know that childcare is essential. Now, I'm not a parent, but several of the folks who work with me are, and I know that finding reliable childcare is an ongoing struggle for them. My employees have to make difficult choices when childcare falls through, and this impacts the work we do together here. So we must continue to work together towards solving the childcare crisis. That's just good business. The first thing I did to get involved here was to sign the pledge card. Is that something you'd be interested in doing as well? So next we're going to move into how to create an elevator pitch in 3 easy steps. We went over 3 examples in which we started off with number 1, what is your name? What is your role with Let's Grow Kids or the implementation of Act 76 or involvement with Vermont's child care crisis? So think in this case, if you're approaching this as an educator, a parent, a business owner, etc. Step 2 would be to talk about why and when you got involved with this work. So a hint here would be to try to keep this to 1 or 2 sentences. Step 3, what is the Vermont child care crisis? Who are we? What are we doing? And then you can also add in the ask. So one thing I think that's helpful is referring to the Let's Grow Kids website to get a sense of what kind of programs, messaging, that sort of thing. Talking points could be useful so that you can be as concise as possible so you can fit into the 30 to 60-second window. The worksheet that I mentioned at the beginning of the training has sampling of different talking points from Let's Grow Kids. And that's just a good idea to keep that handy as you craft your own. Again, that's in the Resource Hub Google Drive that you all have access to. So now would be a good time to check that worksheet out, take a few minutes to look it over, and draft your elevator pitch. Take just about 5 minutes to do it because you can constantly like revise it until it becomes secondhand nature. And then finally, we're not going to practice in pairs here, but it does make sense to practice. So if you could find a buddy that's also interested in working on this, or somebody who just can give you a little bit of feedback if it lands well with them, that would be a good idea. And that, again, that'll just take 5 or 10 minutes as well, but it's really a useful part of crafting your own elevator pitch to practice with a partner. And then finally, I just wanted to thank you for your time. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have any questions, you can contact Let's Grow Kids and we'll be sure to get more information for you. Thank you for joining.